Welcome to EGN3321 Dynamics. This is the course introduction, and my name is Dr. L00EGN3321. So let me get started by going some of the most important part of the course here, and that is how to get a hold of me and how to contact me. You can use my office hours. They're live. I'm here during the office hours. The location of my office is HEC 107B. For the office hours, please make sure you guys see the course website. You can also contact me via email and the phone. In fact, the fastest way to get a hold of me is to use the course website email function to send me an email. That also helps me with bookkeeping, and it also helps you to not need to put the course number on it, because that would automatically get attached to the course. My phone number is 386-506-4195. That's my office phone, and the email address is also listed here, mehraba@daytonastate.edu. So let me go over the course a little bit. The course number and title, EGN3321 Dynamics. This is a 3 hours lecture course. There will be no laboratory associated with this course. The topics that we cover in this class would include the dynamics of particles and rigid bodies. We would talk about how to apply free body diagrams. We would discuss Newton's second law, the impulse momentum method, and the work energy principles. And our primary task here is to solve dynamic problems that are pretty much provided us through the mechanical systems. Every time we deal with mechanical systems, there are dynamic problems to be solved, and that is the backbone of this class. The prerequisite for this class is statics, the EGN 3311. The objective of this course is to gain understanding of the fundamental concepts of dynamics and basic analysis techniques used throughout engineering fields. In this process, we would cover certain topics listed here. Of course, I start with the system of units. No engineering problem could be solved or become meaningless unless we deal with the certain with a defined system of units. And the two system of units primarily used for this class. One is the metric system. The second one is the U.S. customary system that we use in the United States. So those are two basic systems of units I'm going to cover in this course, and we would solve some problems related to that. Then we would talk about coordinate systems. Again, when we need to define an object in 2D or 3D, we need to be able to define them in a coordinate system, and as such, we pretty much deal with those. The primary coordinate system that we use in this course is the Cartesian coordinate system, and we also talk about polar and other types of coordinate systems. So I start the course by an introduction to kinematics of particles and rectilinear motion. Then we would move on to curvilinear motion, and we would discuss Newton's equations of motion and angular velocity. We talk about work and energy, power, the laws of conservation of energy. We would talk about impulse and momentum and the impact, the dynamics of systems of particles, kinematics of rigid bodies. We would pretty much discuss kinetics and kinematics within the context of this course. Then we would move on to talk about plane motion of a particle relative to a frame that is rotating. And also in the process, we discuss the acceleration associated with such a particle that's in motion. So we would also discuss forces and accelerations in plane motion for a rigid body, and we would discuss principles of energy and momentum, impulse, and momentum in plane motion of a rigid body. There is a required textbook for this course. It is by Hibbeler, the 14th edition of Dynamics by Russell C. Hibbeler, not to be confused with Statics by the same author. So make sure you order the right book if you haven't done so already. Engineering Mechanics Dynamics by Russell Hibbeler, 14th edition, and the ISBN is also given here. The earlier edition may be used at your own risk, meaning that all the assignments that would be assigned to you from the 14th edition, and if you want to use an earlier edition, it's your responsibility to make sure that such a problem do exist in the earlier edition, and also making sure the numbers are matching. The method of instructions for this class is obviously an online course. For those of you who have had the online courses before, you know that they could be much more effective because you can stop, rewind, rewatch, and you can constantly do that until, as many times, whereas in live classes, there would be no opportunity to do so. There are no live lectures in this course. All lectures are pre-recorded and available according to a course schedule. That schedule is usually non-negotiable. That schedule is also set according to certain learning objectives and at the discretion of your professor. So the major advantage of the course, this course, is that I'm also available to interact with you on a one-on-one basis during my office hours outside the pretty much online environment. So you really have both tools available to you, both the online method of delivery and the interaction that you can have with me if you desire. The quizzes and assignments, they are a very important part of this course. Of course, assignments are provided to help you learn, review, and apply the material that we cover in lectures. Our assignments are all assignments to be completed by the deadline, but they are not to be submitted. Instead, from each particular assignment, let's say assignment 1, it includes 5 problems. Maybe 4 of those 5 problems would be put on quiz 1, which covers assignment 1. Again, this is one-on-one problem, so the problems that you see in the quiz would match the problem that you see in the assignment. So that's a major advantage here to do well in the quizzes, because you've seen the problems in advance. And now be mindful that I am not going to provide the solution to these assignments to you. By doing so, I would pretty much give away the solution to the quiz, and it would defeat your learning purposes in that regard. So the solution to the assignments, which are also solution to the quizzes, they are only available after the assignment, within a few days after the assignment deadline. So please keep that in mind. The assignments, quizzes, they're all to be completed individually. Again, I want to make sure you guys understand this. Complete all the assignments, but don't submit them. Instead, take periodical online quizzes given from the assignments. The examinations in this class, which are different from quizzes, they are an online exam. Again, all exams in this class are conducted online. They are comprehensive, meaning that they would deal with that part that the exam would cover. The final exam is comprehensive. It would cover everything that we have discussed and all the problems that we solved in this class. Of course, for both the quizzes and exams, you would be given a window time during which the examination or the quiz can be taken. I pretty much schedule that according to a course schedule, and I spend a lot of time actually to do a course schedule, making sure that we don't, we have plenty of time for each part of the course to be completed, which would directly affect your learning in this course. Remember that this is a student-centered course. As such, I want to make sure that we maximize your learning to the best we can. The grading is shown here. The breakdown of the grading. There are 2 exams, 1 comprehensive final exam, and there are quizzes that are from the assignments. The scale for the grading is also given here. Make sure you guys understand this. If you have any questions, make sure to ask me early on in the course. I want everyone to be crystal clear on the grading policies, the percentages, and the grading scale. So make sure you guys fully comprehend and adhere to these grading criteria. The discussion board in the course is provided to you so you can send the questions that you have for me to the discussion board. This is a very effective and quick method. If you have a question, ask it here. If you have a question, it is likely that your other friends and course mates, they have the same question. So it makes it much easier asking it once, answering it once for everyone to see it. Now, if you have a question, make sure you look here first. If you don't prefer to do that as an option, you can pretty much send me your questions through the course website via an email. Again, if you use the course email function, the title of the course is automatically attached to the subject, and I'd be able to pretty much know who sends this from which course. Remember, we teach more than one courses, sometimes multiple, and it is not easy to keep track of all of them. So here are some basic but very useful ground rules for communicating with me. If you have a question, post it on the discussion board first. I've already covered that. Secondly, if you prefer, you can send me your question via email function. Again, that I've already covered that. There are certain rules that it's important for you to understand. If you send me any communication outside your college email account, I'm not at the liberty of answering those, simply because I have no way of verifying in the era of pretty much privacy and security. I'll take your privacy very seriously. As such, I can only respond to the emails that come from the college address, because the assumption is you'll be the only one who have your password and you can log into that account. So any communications sent to me from xyz at xyz.com, .org, whatever, I won't be able to discuss anything that is course related. I won't be able to reply to those addresses. There's a rule here. I have the 5 business day rules that is on rare occasions. I usually respond to you very quickly, but just in case you don't hear back from me within a few days, just give it some more time and I will definitely get back to you. Again, you're more than welcome to stop by my office during office hours if you prefer to have a face-to-face meeting. Again, in all communications, make sure to include the course number and title in the subject line when you send an email from the course website, and that is done automatic. Well, that pretty much brings me to the end of this introduction about the course. There will be more lectures recorded and available on the course website as we go by. Thank you. Bye-bye.